In January of 2017, I was introduced to a world that was much different than my own. My boyfriend and I had been dating for a month, and it was time for me to meet his family. Being aware that he was of both Portuguese and German heritage, I knew that his family customs would be different than my own. However, I was not prepared for the culture shock I felt for the first few months. The first time I met his parents, I was embraced as if I was a part of their family, feeling as though I was instantly accepted into their culture and lives. However, little did I know it would take quite an effort to get used to the culture, customs, and overall way of life. The first time I felt the cultural difference set in was during a large family get-together. In my family, large consists of around 10 to 15 people at the most. For his Portuguese side of the family, small is considered between 20 to 30 people. Immediately, I felt overwhelmed by the sheer number of unfamiliar faces in the room. Portuguese folklore music was playing, which was something I had never even heard of before, and many people were speaking Portuguese, which I could not understand. The feeling of isolation and deviation in this moment was strong for me, feeling as if I did not entirely belong in the larger group in front of me. Just as I found myself shying away from introducing myself to people, my boyfriend and his mom grabbed me and did the work for me. When I was introduced to people, they immediately gave me 2 kisses on both sides of my cheeks, which is a sign of respect, acceptance, and affection in Portuguese culture. I began making my way around the room on my own, meeting new people from different walks of life, and feeling as though I was being accepted into their culture, even though I was an outsider. That night, I was also introduced to Portuguese food for the first time, which is very different from what I would normally eat on a day-to-day basis. The meal for the night was Portuguese cozido, which is a pork dish mixed with vegetables and homemade chorizo sausage. Growing up, I never liked pork. Therefore, when I found out what the main course was, I was slightly hesitant. However, feeling a desire to fit in, I tried the meal and fell in love with it. That night taught me a lot about myself and my culture. Growing up in a westernized society, I was not introduced to new cultures and new traditions that could have helped me grow as an individual. Now, almost 2 years later, I feel as though I have grown as a person. I am not only more willing to try new things, foods included, I feel as though I completely belong within a culture outside of my own. I am loving the food, the people, and even the language, slowly picking up on words and phrases along the way. Because of my boyfriend and his family, and the fact that they accepted me into their culture and their lives, I no longer feel as though I am a deviant. Instead, I feel as though I am one in the same.